Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I want to show you my Stormbrand assassin. So this was the Orb of Storms assassin before, but as I was explaining in the last video, the Orb of Storms was just like a leveling thing, because a leveling as a Stormbrand assassin or shadow is pretty much shit. The reason for that is the Rune Binder. So Rune Binder, you can have an additional brand attached to an enemy, so you can have two brands on one enemy, which means you double your DPS. So, if you start as a Templar, because Templar, Orb of Storm, Templar Stormbrand characters are actually pretty, how you gonna call it? God, I'm missing the English word. God damn it, popular. They're pretty much popular in racing, or at least were popular in racing. So the reason for that is you start as a Templar, or Guardian, Templar, yeah. And you have a short way to the Rune Binder. The problem with the shadow is you have to travel throughout all the skill tree on the top side to get there. So that's why I would not recommend leveling as a Stormbrand shadow, because it feels kinda clunky. Just my opinion, okay? That's why I leveled with the Orb of Storms, and once you reach like level 80 or something, you can just respec a couple of points and take the brand nodes, because the rest of the skill tree is pretty generic, like life, crit, power charges, the same thing as you would do on the Orb of Storms character. You do the same on the Stormbrand as well, just picking up those brand nodes. So let's, I can sadly not deliver you with an Uber Elder here, because I was grinding challenges today, so I've done quite a lot actually. I'm on 34 at the moment, so 6 challenges missing. And I also did the Blighted map, so I cleared a Blighted map of every single tier. And I gotta say, Brand, or the Stormbrand, feels amazing in Blight mechanic and also the Blighted maps. The reason for that, if there's a portal, right, here is a portal, here is a portal, you're just gonna set a brand here, a brand here, a brand here, and then you relax in the middle, and just wait until your brand kills off everything, especially with the Impulsor explosion, which makes it quite fast for leveling as well. But therefore, my influence is somewhere in the top side now, so I'm too lazy to drag it down all the way, and probably it will spawn the yellow tier elder anyway, so we're just gonna skip that for now. But we're gonna do like a Guardian map. Let's see, yeah, let's run a Minotaur map here. Let's choose it up a little bit. So, could be a little bit more, 69. Oh, 110 and valid. Holy shit, 121 quantity. Do we have an eco? Hey, obviously we don't. Okay, anyway, so we're gonna open this with Breach. Since I'm still lacking my... Wait, let's hide everything. Or is it complete encounters? Where was it? Defeat Chayular who dreamed outside of its domain. Means that you need to find Chayular in a breach. And I'm still trying to do that. There's actually not a lot of breaches missing. I opened 143 breaches and I got 2 Chayular, or maybe 3 Chayular, but never a boss spawned. So for the quick playstyle, it's pretty straightforward. You have up to 5 brands, and once you press brand recall, that's a different gem here, you're gonna set all your brands that you casted or that are in the area to yourself. That means if you're having really decent gear, let's say Empower level 4, Enhance level 4, what I don't have, with maybe cooldown recovery speed on boots and a belt, you can get this brand recall pretty low, okay? And then it feels kind of amazing just running around, recall, recall, recall. But as you see, the cooldown is a little bit longer for now, so it's not permanently sustainable, right? But you could actually do it permanently sustainable if you get your cooldown recovery pretty low here, right? So what I'm doing here is I'm just running around, just getting a brand inside the enemy's pack, and once there is like a lot of mobs, I just brand recall and they will start spreading towards the other enemies. So let's check this out in theory, or at least in, not theory, the other part here, practical part. So we're just gonna run around here, brand, jump over brand recall, pick up loot, flame dash, brands, get in there, brand recall. It's pretty straightforward, you know, it's like those 2 buttons that you need, or 3 with flame dash. And you just pop up everything because, yeah, Impulsor, right? The good thing here is I'm running Elemental Focus on my Stormbrand, which doesn't make them shock anymore, which you actually need for the Impulsor. But we have the, what's it called? The Storm's Gift. And that will actually make the shocks for the Impulsor here. So this is not a Chayular domain, so we're gonna skip that and don't care about this couple weird things here. And yeah, pretty straightforward playstyle. And if you want to, you still have a full-length Wave of Conviction for some more damage, and also to get the... Oh, look at this, I'm sustaining. And also get the lightning, what's it called? Exposure. God, I'm very bad at English today. I'm gotta admit it. The lightning exposure onto the map so they have less lightning resistance. So let's take a look at this bridge here. I'm just usually just setting a brand in every single direction here, and it starts chaining and just does hell amount of damage. So, is this a chaluper? Is this a chaluper? Looks more like... Oh, wait, there's a breach, a beyond boss somewhere in the middle. No, it's actually Exile, right? Yeah, it's Exile. So, I'm gonna skip that as well, because we don't care about Exile either. Let's take a look at the Blight mechanic. As I was explaining before, you just gonna get your... Oh, it's just a double one. That's actually sad. Yeah, it's just a double one. I would have wanted to have more lanes. But as I said, you're just gonna set your brands in front of the portal, and they will start just doing work and just spreading, and you just stand behind here, get your turrets ready, you know, just brand, get your turrets ready, and you just wait. And yeah, the brands just will stick there and just follow. Like every time they clear something, they're just gonna lay on the floor, and then it depends on your brand attachment range, how far they can actually attach to an enemy. That means, let's say this is the enemy. Let's say this is the brand attachment range, the circle here, right? That means as soon as a mob travels into this circle, your brand will get attached, and then you're gonna do the massive damage, and it will just stick to the enemy until they are dead, or at least like when the timer runs out. So, can we please? Thank you. Awesome. Let's take a look at the insane Blight loot. Insane, dude. Sustaining, at least. Was worth it. Usually they are not worth it. And I know it's a bad thing as a YouTuber and streamer saying that the mechanic is bad, but I just don't like lying, you know? And I've done a bunch of Blighted maps today, and I'm just gonna say, just not worth it. Just not worth it. For me, basically, it feels like as if you have trash loot, you know, and then they say, yeah, we're gonna make now a lot of more chests, reward chests, okay? Yeah, so now we have like double or triple the amount of trash that we usually get, but that's just me, okay? So for the boss here, safety portal, get your brands down. Then we have our Vile Righteous Fire to choose it up more. So I get here, brand recall, Vile Righteous Fire, and then we're just gonna spam some of these to get the lightning exposure down. And then you just chill. And that's it. Easy clap. We could run some, yeah, let's actually, I think I have some sulfite. I have 4,000, so that's fair enough for one 200 something delve depth. That means like item, or at least monster level 83, which is the same as Guardians. So we're just gonna run this map here, and you're gonna see that it's also quite amazing for a delve as well, because it's the same playstyle, you know? You're just gonna set up your brands, get them into the pack, and then just walk in there and just press your brand recall, and just like brand recall, and get more brands, and chaining, and more explosions, and get some speed, and just kill everything. Pretty straightforward, actually. Like, personally, I say this is one of the most enjoyable playstyles that I had in quite some time. It's actually the third time I'm picking up Stormbrand for my character. One was when it came out, which felt pretty amazing, and don't ask me about this Armageddon brand. This is something I still haven't played once yet, so I cannot really tell you what is better, Stormbrand or Armageddon brand. But the Stormbrand does quite some work for me. Especially once it was released, it was super strong. Now it's pretty much, it got nerfed once, or twice, I don't know. After the nerf, I tried it again with some really low budget gear, which still worked out quite fine, but not as good. And now with this kind of gear setup, with the double void batteries, it just feels amazing. I don't know, like Uber Elder, you're just gonna get your brands down before they spawn. You spam this one. As soon as they get active, they have the lightning exposure. Then 2 brands on Shaper, 2 brands on Uber Elder, and they just switch between each other. It's just super easy to do. So I think let's just throw in. Well, actually, let's clean real quick. We're gonna take this time because mbXtreme has, or at least likes to have, a very beautiful sorted stash, right? So let's get this in here, this in here. Then we have more fragments, a couple of maps, actually double your 16 Guardian map. Perfect. So, okay, beautiful. Let's take a look at the character itself. It's pretty much, I would say pretty much the same gear as the Orb of Storms character, just a little bit more energy shield based. The reason for that is I'm running Mind over Matter with Eldritch Battery. That means that my energy shield, instead of life, now saves the mana. That means that before I use mana, I use energy shield. And as you see, you can just permanently like throw stuff in there because I have more energy shield regen that I can actually spend in terms of mana here, right? Well, with brands, if you permanently... Well, at some point you probably get run out of energy shield. Maybe it's... Yeah, anyways. So the good thing about that is that we now have two sources of health, right? We have the life pool and we have the energy shield pool. Since we run Mind over Matter, that means that 30% of the damage that we take is taken from mana before life, and now we actually protect our mana with the energy shield. Means that I just have like a 30% higher HP pool when it comes to that, right? So let me calculate a little bit here. Calculator. So we have 4,182 life at the moment, which is not a lot, obviously. But if we take now 0.03, means 1.2k is basically the Mind over Matter pool, and I have 1.4k energy shield, which means that I actually have a little bit too much energy shield, but yeah, you know, min-maxing and stuff. But that means that energy shield is actually on top of that. It's actually more than that, because I'm running a dual leech mechanic, right? Slash DND, I probably want to... You want to buy this from me, mbX? I want to buy from an... yeah, well... Sold. Whatever, sold. D&D, wait, D&D... Can I do something properly today? Probably not. Sold. D&D. D&D, oh god. Dude, slash clear. At least something works. Perfect, so, I'm running dual leech. That means I'm leeching life with my amulet that has the mod lightning damage leeches life, and I have this node here which leeches spell damage as energy shield. So as soon as I damage something, I get a portion of that damage leeched as energy shield and a portion as life. So I'm leeching twice as much as I would just if I would just use the life regen or leech here, right? So let's take a look. The helmet, Stonebrand damage penetration enchant if you can get it. I just personally took an energy shield base as everywhere I can get because of my energy shield pool. I was using some evasion based stuff that was just cheap and effective in terms of resistance and life, but in the end I had like 600 energy shield or something with having 4,000 life, which means the ratio with the Mind over Matter was just not really good. That's why I decided to pick up a Hubris Circlet and Sorcerer Boots and a Crystal Belt to boost up my energy shield. So here, life resistance, you can use the Metallic Fossil with a -9 lightning resistance to the enemy, which is pretty nice damage. Here I have my Wave of Conviction, Physical to Lightning, Control Destruction, and Lightning Penetration. Why Physical to Lightning? Because Wave of Conviction is actually a physical spell that converts 25 to fire and 25 to lightning. So based on what is the higher damage that you do, is going to be an exposure that applies 25% elemental resistance. Means now with the Physical to Lightning, I have 75% of my Wave of Conviction being lightning damage. That means that it's probably almost only doing lightning damage, and that means the exposure will apply to lightning damage as well, which counts for the Wave of Conviction and also the Stonebrand. Then for my weapons, I choose to go with a dual-wielding Void Batteries as the Assassin. Reason for that is I want to stack as many power charges as possible. It's a crit build, so Void Batteries are never a bad choice in this case, right? But you want to get your power charges on the right side, top side, and on the left side. So you have 3 in total, plus the 3 from a skill tree makes 6, plus 1 from the Ascendancy is 7, plus double Void Battery is 9 power charges. So you're gonna get a lot of damage out of that. If you cannot afford power charges, not a big deal. Take some normal Wands or something, which just spell damage, lightning damage, to spells, multi-crit, like all that good stuff, right? I have here Flame Dash and faster casting, and no, I'm not using Arcane Surge. Reason for that is because I'm actually never spending mana. You see I have 35 mana, whatever I'm doing, I'm just using my energy shield instead. The only way I can use mana is if my energy shield is gone, and then I can use mana, but then I'm probably pretty much dead as well. Okay, that's the reason why I'm not using Arcane Surge. And then I have Precision level 1 for a little bit more crit strike chance. Then here, Brand Recall with Empower and Enhance, that actually gives you more quality because of the Enhance and the levels from the Empower, which makes the brand attachment range longer, and also the cooldown recovery speed and on how often I can use the brand recall itself. So best in place would be level 4 obviously. Then for the chest impulsor, I mean, pretty nice chest. If you have shocked recently, that also affects the gloves, by the way. I tested this one. So I'm using Stone Brand, Added Lightning, the Lightning Pen, then Control Destruction, Conk Effect, and Ally Focus. So Ally Focus, the thing is, your Ally Focus will make your Stone Brand not shock anymore, so you cannot trigger the impulsor. But your gloves, which is the Storm's Gift, that say enemies you kill are shocked. So I can use Ally Focus to boost my damage of the Stone Branch pretty much, and still have the triggered explosions from the impulsor, just because my gloves can shock now, okay? And the shock spreads, and that's like a chain reaction here, which is pretty nice. The impulsor also says 41% increased damage if you have shocked an enemy recently, and this is a buff that you also get from your gloves because your gloves shock now, okay? Perfect. So let's take a look at the amulet, or at least let's keep on going. Storm's Gift. So I got mine with cursed enemies with level 8 conductivity. Conductivity is a curse that lowers the lightning resistance of the enemy. That means I do more damage in general. If you get a plus level of socketed gems or something, is also super nice, or any good implicit, or you're just gonna take anything you get just to make it cheaper, right? I have here my auras, which is Wrath, Zealotry, Herald of Thunder, and then Enlighten level 3 at the moment. Means if I get Enlighten level 4, I can just take my Precision even higher, or even on the skill tree, if I'm probably go down here or something, I can take an aspect of the Spider, which is another layer of defense for my character. But in the end, I have here mana reservation on this one here, and on the left side, so that's why I can use double 50% aura plus Herald of Thunder and still can maintain my mana pool because it's saved from the energy shield. The boots, as I said, also an evasion and energy shield base for my Mind Over Matter Eldritch Battery combo. Having cast when damage taken, Immortal Call, increased duration, and the Devour Righteous Fire. The reason why I linked that together is because of the increased duration. So once I pop my Devour Righteous Fire, it will just last longer. Just life resistance, like on every single rare item that I'm wearing here, is just like life resistance and energy shield if you can get it, because we're hybrid. For the belt as well, life resistance, I choose to go with the crystal belt just to get some higher energy shield. If you have enough energy shield for your Mind Over Matter, then just take a leather belt or Headhunter or whatever you want to pick up here. So, the ring combo, Mark of the Shaper with an Elder Ring. This is a pretty nice and effective way to make a cheap, nice damage upgrade here. Means this ring gives me only 11 multiplier, isn't too much, but you're gonna see the damage difference from 15,000 to 18 or 18,500, which is just a lot of base damage for this skill. So once I get my power charge, it just scales up even higher. So you're gonna make sure the increased spell damage if your other ring is an elder item, get this as high as possible. Then we have increased max life, increased energy shield, and lightning damage to spells. It's pretty much a perfect ring for us. I choose to go with the Vermilion ring. This is a new one. Not too cheap, actually. I think at base alone is like an Exalt. So you can take any other Elder Ring, a Moonstone Ring for energy shield. You can also take a Coral Ring, a Two-Stone Ring or something for resistance. So you can pretty much take any kind of ring. Just make sure it's Elder, and then I just Chaos spam for life resistance, pretty much. So for the amulet, I allocated Discipline and Training, which is this one over here. Gives me 30 life and 10% increased max life, which is a defensive way, but I just thought that a little bit more life is a little bit better here, right? Because in the other hand, like this one is better, but double gold, this is like, what was it, like double silver and a black one. It's like 150 chaos in total, I think. While this one is going to be 2.5 exalts or something, so way more expensive than this one. But you can take like as whatever you want, you know, like either Heart of Thunder or anything like that. It's not even bad. But the most important thing here on this amulet is the lightning damage leached as life modifier. And this is a temple mod because this one comes with the tier 1 lightning resistance. Do you see suffix modifier of Puhuarte, or what is it? Puhuarte? Yeah, something like that. Tier 1 lightning resistance and lightning damage leeches life. Because all the spell damage leeches life, especially here in Heart of Thunder, where you have lightning damage leeches energy shield, here you have spell damage leeches energy shield, so you cannot really get leech as life as a caster, right? You could do this with the old wallet smart, but I don't want to talk about that because that's like 2-3 leaks ago and it doesn't really work anymore. So therefore, take lightning damage leads to life on the amulet. It can also be a corruption somewhere. I think even on the amulet and rings, I think, but rings I'm not even sure. But as you see, the gearing process is not even too hard. Life resistance, impulsor with the Storm's Gift if you want to run the Ellie focus, otherwise take whatever gloves you want. And then just energy shield bases over here. Path of Building link is in the description below. Let's take a look at the skill tree for the Ascendancies. I took Unstable Infusion and Deadly Infusion as my first 2 Ascendancies. Then going with the Opportunistic, and then at last the Mistwalker for another layer of defense. This was the last one I picked up. Then just Ellie damage, life, power charges, make sure to have them. Don't forget about your 3 brand clusters here. And yeah, nothing actually too special here, pretty generic spellcaster tree at all. I'm just having like, or the keystones here are spell crit, mana reservation, as I said, the brand nodes over here 3 times, then life, mind over matter, and the Eldritch Battery combination, and rune binder to attach 2 brands to 1 enemy. For the jewels, I just have like a 1 chaos jewel, just life and multiplier with lightning skills. If you have the currency, add the multiplier with elemental skills, and if you have more currency, then a global multiplier. So triple multi-life should be quite sexy on this one. So for the Watcher's Eye, I have a Cemetery Wrath one that I got for 1.5 exalts, because it seems like nobody's playing Wrath or Cemetery in this combination. Pretty lucky with the Divine Orb Divine myself. I think the 3rd Divine Orb made perfect stats, which is quite nice. But to be honest, it's overkill, okay? It is overkill. I'm currently having spell crit 40% with the flasks on 45% almost, but then you count in 9... power charges on top of that, right? So we're gonna be at 99% effective critical strike chance, although we are running the Control Destruction, which reduces our critical strike chance. So Assassin with crit, really good. And don't forget this small note here, spell damage per power charge. Since we're running 9 power charges, this is also 36% increased spell damage, so for 1 point, super sexy to get. So for the Bandits, I helped Alira because it's a crit build. For the Pantheons, I use the Solaris and the Yugal because I'm usually doing Uber Elders with this character, so I want to have the reduced cold damage taking, and also the Son of Solaris for some physical damage mitigation. And yeah, let's talk about the cosmetics real quick. Transcendent Helm, Body Armor, Gloves, and Boots with the Transcendent Wings. Double Transcendent Dagger with the Sentinel Weapon effect, Celestial Character effect, and Footprints. Then Demon King Portal effect, what actually should be the Transcendent. Shit. Cult of Apocalypse Portrait Frame, if this is from any kind of importance. Then Stonebrand without MTX. I do have the MTX, but I think this is just ugly. I don't know. It's the same with the Automaton Arc. The red arc just looks terrible, and I think this one looks terrible as well. I still bought it, tried it out, and I just think the normal one, the blue one, just looks prettier. Then Corsair Flame Dash effect with the Celestial Aura effect, Soul Nexus, then Monolith Aura effect, Sun Prison Herald effect, Dark Immortal Call, and the Harbinger Righteous Fire. Okay, I think we're pretty much done with explaining flasks. Life Flask, Instant Life Flask, Bleed Immunity, the Wise Oak. Make sure that either your resistance, the uncapped ones, that are the ones in the brackets, are capped, or at least like are balanced, means that they all have the same number, or you're gonna make sure that the damage you do, which is lightning damage in this case, that your lightning resistance is the highest, so you're gonna get the 15% penetration. Then a Cinder Swallow Urn, which I just love to pick up for any kind of mapping build, because it's just like recovery of life, mana, energy shield, and increased critical strike chance, and onslaught is great flask, dude. Diamond Flask, freeze immunity, and a Quicksilver Flask to master. Alright, I just hope that I didn't forget anything. Again, Path of Building link, every information that you need is in the description below. And yeah, guys, hope you have a lot of fun with this build. I'm pretty much done with this build. Just for, I want to try out a lot of different assassin builds as long as I have my assassin. Even maybe gonna push this one to 100. So next on the list is Winter Orb Assassin Dual Void Battery. So yeah, small spoiler on this part. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for watching. And as always, see you on the next video.